Okay, I guess we are live now. Hi everyone, this is Aditya. Along with me, I have my team member Dr. Amit and our guest Raj for today. Okay, so guys, if you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know in the chat box. If you can see me fine, please let us know so that we can get started. In the meantime, we'll quickly check connections on our end. So I'm checking on LinkedIn. Let's
Let
see.
me check on YouTube.
So
Okay,
okay,
YouTube is working fine. I can see myself in YouTube live.
okay, YouTube is fine. LinkedIn is also fine. People are joining in. Guys, if you can quickly confirm that you can hear us, you can see us, that would be very helpful. And then we'll get started in a few minutes. Also, let's get started with a brief introduction. Raj, thank you so much for joining us. Where are you located, Raj, right now?
Right now in Bangalore,
Are you a
visiting
Bangalore
family.
visiting family?
Yes,
Okay. Raj is in Bangalore. And where are you originally located, right? Most of the where do you spend most of your time?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Okay. I am currently in Miami, Florida, guys, and I've entered my location in the chat box here. If you can also let us know your current location, that would be great. Amit sir, where are you right now?
Okay, so hi everyone. This is Dr. Amit. I am located in Toronto right now in Canada.
Okay.
So I guess people from three different locations joining in.
Great. And it's still super cold in Canada?
Yeah, little better now as compared to 12 degree, 10 degrees. Much better. But
Not
you can't trust weather of Canada. One day you will see 20 degree, 25 degree. Next day -5, -4.
okay.
Fluctuations are really high.
Yeah, I same thing with Dallas. I think the fluctuations. The morning it'll be like 4, 5 degrees. Afternoon it can get to 20, 25, and then again back to 5 degrees in the night.
And I think it really gets hot in Dallas, right? During summers.
Summers, yes.
Okay, so when
Luckily, we work from home with air conditioning on, so we don't have to step out during the day.
okay,
But
we
Bangalore is hot as well. I was surprised.
what Bangalore is like hot right now?
Yeah, 36, 37. I think it broke records.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Mumbai is also very hot these days. India's temperature is rising. We are hitting 50 in summer.
Oh wow.
And then how's Bangalore's weather? Sorry, traffic. Is it still super bad?
Yeah, it's back. I think during COVID the traffic was less, and after that I think it's back to normal now. There's traffic, there's metro work going on. So some routes have metro. At least that probably has eased some traffic.
Hmm,
But till the metro work is going on, those roads have a lot of traffic.
got it. Okay, okay. So let's move ahead with I think we can get started. We have crowd here. Guys, please take a moment to share this event on your LinkedIn, on your YouTube, wherever you are. And once you share that, you can simply click on repost so that it can reach out to more and more people. Today, we are going to work on a new data science project. So we'll introduce that project shortly, but we'll also jump into journey of Raj, of how he moved from into an Ivy League university and then eventually landed a job at a Fortune 500 company. I think in this tough job market, it will be a great learning experience for you, your friends, and your network. So feel free to share it, repost it on your LinkedIn profile, on your YouTube. Okay, so let's get started on this particular project. Let me share my screen. And before we go there, guys, we have started a new initiative, right? Where we would need your help. So recently, a few professors from different universities in the US and India, they came across our platform, and they found it extremely helpful. That we have some real world projects, and they want to introduce it to their audience, right, to their students. For example, a few professors at Cornell University, they have started working with us to implement our platform in their curriculum uh, for data science and software engineering role. And we are working with a few more universities in India. If you can introduce us to your data science or software engineering professor at your university, that would be very helpful. In turn, we'll be more than happy to help you with your resume review, LinkedIn review. But if you're interested in introducing our platform to your university, to your professor, we would love to understand and hear what challenges your professors face. And if we can connect with them one on one and offer our platform, that would be very helpful. Okay. So I'll share a Google form link with all of you here. Give me 1 second. And if you can fill that out really quick, that would be amazing.
And quite a few of them were interested in integrating them in the part of the course curriculum as well.
Mhm. Fill out this Google form. Okay. So, guys, I've shared it on LinkedIn with everyone. Let me also put it on YouTube.
I guess the platform with the course curriculum can be really beneficial for the students, because then that will enhance their learning experience.
Yep. And actually, Raj, we are in conversation with a few universities now, and it's an area of huge interest for them on of how, because right now professors are facing two major challenges. First is they don't have access to latest industry projects, right? They don't work in companies, so they don't know what exactly is going on in the recent time. And second is their limited office hours. A lot of professors told us that it takes us a lot of time to assign project and then provide feedback along with their TAs, like 1 to 2 weeks of time, and also personalized feedback. It's very difficult for them, and that's where we've started with Arizona State University, Cornell, and a few other universities. So,
I think that's a good
okay.
idea.
Mhm. So,
This
guys,
is
I've
a lot
shared.
of
Yep. I can see a few people have already filled it. Guys, please take a moment to fill it out. If you want us, if you want to introduce us to your professors, that would be very helpful. Okay, so we can get started now. Let me share my screen. Okay, here we go. Cool. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this real world project. Those who are joining us for the very first time, let me tell you that we started this initiative of doing real world projects almost 6 months ago. And the idea was that a lot of entry level candidates, people, students who just graduated or probably transitioning in their career, or people who are coming back to workforce after a break, right? Moms returning back to work, they find it very difficult to land interview calls or the final job offers, and the major reason behind that was lack of hands-on work experience. Because employers need job-ready talent. The times have changed. When I graduated back in 2015 from Duke University, the understanding in the market was that an entry-level candidate don't have hands-on experience, so employer would provide a few months of training to every new joinee, and that's how they will get to the workforce. But that is slowly changing these days. The employers need talent who has more hands-on skill rather than just academic knowledge, and that's where we started these real-world projects. Every week we try to do 1 to 2 projects where we kick off one project. We'll provide you an overview of this particular project. We have one mentor from the industry, as we have Raj today, and for the next 1 week we are going to provide you one-on-one support as well. One-on-one support, that means like you can ask any question wherever you get stuck in the project. You can ask it on our Discord channel, and our team will get back to you and will try to guide you through the project. We are not going to provide you a ready to go answer. That's not the objective, but we'll certainly try to provide you certain hints, remove roadblocks that you encounter, right? So that at the end of this 1 week, you complete one project, you gain some hands-on experience, and you have a real project that you can add it to your resume, your LinkedIn profile, or you can talk about this project in your interview calls as well. Okay. So today's project is, and by the way, at the end of this project, at the end of this 1 week, whoever uh, when when this particular project, whoever performed best, they will also be getting featured on Times Square, New York. So this project is about predicting Google stock prices with TensorFlow. And before getting into project details, I would like to get started with the introduction of our guest today, our mentor, Rajshekar Prabhakar. Welcome, Raj. We'd love to know about your journey, and then we also want to deep dive into your details.
So thanks, Aditya. I'll give you a brief overview of my journey, and then we'll get into details as you might have any questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, like many of you guys, I grew up in India. I have studied in India until my undergrad, and then came out to do my master's. And so I kind of come from a non-educational background, or my parents didn't study much. On none of my family members, I was one of the first guys to even go to college and do studies, like undergrad or even masters. And there was limited knowledge then because you didn't have access to internet. So if you know what I'm saying, see, so I didn't have the circle to know what a good university is, where to study, what to do, and things like that. But I had faith in myself in doing projects, and that kind of got me, uh, into places. I would say mainly because of the projects and real world projects. Um, my project started very while I was like very young. I started building science projects from seventh grade and kept doing things like that since then. Had built some electronic projects during my 11th and 12th. Did a lot of engineering robotics projects during my undergrad. We won about 30 competitions in robotics in India, in places like IIT Madras, Kuch Pilani, NIT, etc. That got me noticed by this company called National Instruments, which always hired from tier one universities, IITs and ITs. That's where they would go and hire. And I was lucky to be hired by them because I showcased a project. I went to a competition that they had hosted, and our project got noticed by them, and they offered me a job, offered me an interview for a job right after that competition, because we came third. It was an all India competition. We built a robot for it, and it was really nice. So that was my journey to get into a good thing, good company. NI is based out of US. They have a branch in India. So I got into a position going from a tier three college undergrad to um, the really good company. All my colleagues there were all from top universities, IITs and ITs. That kind of gave me confidence to go and apply for my master's in the best university that is for robotics. And that's how I kind of ended up at Carnegie Mellon University, which is really good for robotics. And um, I was able to apply for it. I got the confidence because now I was with IITians and I knew that they were also going to top universities in the world. And I knew that I understood engineering very well and did a lot of projects. So that gave me confidence to go into CMU and Plymouth University.
So that's wonderful, Raj. So, Raj, a lot of students, when they are in India doing their engineering, right, the Ivy League seems like a far-fetched dream, and it's only feels like, okay, if you're coming from IITs, and I'm sure you may had a lot of your batchmates who come from IITs, right? Uh,
Mhm.
what was so different in your application, right? Or how would you recommend people to prepare their profile to go to like uh, Ivy League universities in the US? What made you stand out?
What made me stand out was my robotics projects, right? So a lot of projects, a lot of competitions that I won all over, and I learned a lot during the journey. Um, Like when I went and I was an interviewer when I joined NI, and I was interviewing all these tier one college and university students, and I kind of understood that not everyone focuses on the fundamentals, and there was a lot of focus in really cool high really cool tech or really cool concepts. Like people would talk about 4G and 5G when they didn't understand how AM and FM worked. So there was a lot of focus on really cool, very advanced, like LLMs today. Right? So if you don't know the fundamentals of machine learning, you put up or you say you're an expert in LLMs, that doesn't work. So my concept and for me, what was good was my fundamentals were very strong. I spent a lot of time perfecting my fundamentals. So I could, uh, and again, how did that happen? A lot of projects, a lot of real world projects. So I understand the fundamentals. So that kind of helped me get in. But my profile was mainly selected because of the projects. I had to somehow get my resume, all my, IELTS and TOEFL scores. All those are like gatekeepers. Once you have enough, your resume will be looked at. Once your resume is looked at, do you impress them to give you an interview or not? And my resume stood out because of a lot of projects at that point of time. I had a lot of competitions that I had won, a lot of projects that I had won. That kind of helped me land position in CMU.
And where did you find all these like projects and like competitions? Because I understand in tier three universities, maybe your professors did not have access to those projects, or were you
Right,
lucky enough to have those professors? So, how can people get access to those projects actually?
right. Um, it becomes like a community once you get into this, right? So coming from tier three, there was no concept of robotics education then. This is 2006, 2007 that I'm speaking about. I got into because I was interested. I was always looking out for ways to interact. I came across a workshop from one of the IITians started company. And they did a robotics workshop, and that's how I got into robotics. And then that kind of connected me with, let's say, 50 robotics interested people. You start talking to them, they will tell you, oh, there's a competition. Why don't you also participate and join? So it is like you get into that community, you get to know from others where the next event is happening, and you keep doing that over and over again. And also not to give up, right? So we participated in a lot of competitions to win 30 competitions. First 15 of them, we didn't even win a prize. But we kept at it. We said, okay, this is a mistake. Next time we're going to correct this and build a better robot and go participate in the competition. So always have that attitude to learn and find errors that you made and fix it. Um, Professors, there were professors who helped us. They were very helpful. But when it comes to building robots, they themselves are not built because there's not much robotics, at least then in India. Definitely not in tier two, tier three universities. So um, keep going at it. Get into a zone like High Counselor is a good place. The Discord channel is a good place. You know other folks who are also interested in learning AI, data analytics. So start networking with them to find out, hey, are there any hackathons? Let me know if there are hackathons. I'm going to go participate. What are some projects? Are there any startups looking for providing internships, or are there any challenges that we can solve? So find similar mindset people who are trying to do the same and build your network, and they will help you get to the next level. It's not always from the universities or professors.
Mhm.
If you have that, that's great. But if not, your peers with like-minded peers is the best place to get to know these projects.
You said you did 30 projects. Like how many projects or like competitions you were doing like every semester? And when did
So
you start?
I was
And when did you actually start it? First year or second year?
uh, second semester. I attended this workshop, and third semester onwards, I was always like going into competitions. Luckily, we had good support from our HOD who was like, okay, if you're going for a competition, I'm going to give you attendance. There was like a 80% attendance rule. I was mostly in classes only 20-30% of the time. The rest of the time we were just traveling around India to participate in robotics competitions.
That's amazing. And how did you spend your time when you came to CMU? I'm sure it's great to be there, but again, the classroom is full of all very smart guys, right? And and you have to stand out there. How did you spend
So,
your time at CMU, right? How did you utilize it best? Because job search and
mm,
uh, being an like becoming an employable person, that's a big challenge right now, right? How do you see that? How should a journey of someone in a university in the US?
mhm. Sure. Get serious. Build network. Uh, you know, work with professors, work with startups, go to networking events. That's a good way to find entry level opportunities. I was working in a lab which then offered me there was a spun off company from that lab, which then I could interview without having to go apply on their website and all that because I was working in that lab. The professor just recommended it, and I was able to go and give an interview in the company and an offer from them. And then I also did a lot of applications. In US, the you know, I think I had to apply for like 50 to 100 job applications, then keep like an Excel sheet and track everything, what's going on, and being able to narrow down, see if there's a response. If not, just follow up because a lot of times your application might have fallen through the cracks. So till you get a definitive no, follow up. If they did an interview, just follow up. So I had to do all that and ended up having two offers. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm done. This is the kind of company I was looking for. I'm gonna go take one of them. That's how I kind of got into thing. What could I have done differently? A lot of networking. A lot of job opportunities come from networking, not just going online and applying. So go to networking, talk to people, recommendations. If you're online applying, there are 10,000 other people who are doing the same. How do you
Yep.
stand out? Networking events.
Hmm. I was at the conference that I was talking to you at earlier this week, and I realized that just hanging out where you have your ideal people, right, or where you
Mm,
want to be, just give you an opportunity to talk to them and express what you're doing, and then you get a lot more opportunities, right? Rather than just
yes,
staying online on your laptop and probably reaching out to people through email, right? Nah, not the best way.
right, right. Once
And
you see someone, meet someone, shake their hand, you have a different kind of connection than just someone pinging you online or sending you an email. It gets filtered out.
yep. One more thing, Raj, before we jump into project details, is you have spent a lot of time at ServiceLink, right? I see people jumping off from one company to another, like job hop on hop off thing is like pretty common, right? To get some
Mhm.
raises. What's your motivation to stay at a company for so long? How do you see, right, building up a career? And second question is, uh, again, data analyst, data science, there are too many people graduating from too many schools, right? And with generative AI coming into picture, a lot of job roles are getting obsolete. So is that really true? Or how do you see that? Can people still get a job? Or how do you evaluate, okay, this person is good out of like 20 other applicants?
Sure. First question I think is why am I at ServiceLink for this long when
Hmm.
everyone's like switching jobs every 2 years?
Yep.
I believe in learning a concept or learning the job well. So it takes a while for me to get adjusted, understand the industry, and being able to contribute. And I was able to make significant contribution to a mortgage industry where we came up with industry-leading AI applications, which I cannot openly talk about it, the algorithms and stuff. So I had an opportunity to do that and deploy it into production. So I got a lot of uh, support to build new things, build be the first in the industry, and be able to make a huge impact and a contribution. Um, Most of the projects that we do at ServiceLink are handled by 2 to 3 data scientists. And we are able to go and build a product that's going to change the industries. That was very, very important for me. Rather than being there are 100 data scientists or 1,000 data scientists working on 1 or 2 projects where your contribution is not very clearly seen. But here it is, okay, Raj has to be here to make this. And Another employee has to be here because of his skill set to make this project work. So we look at each person as an individual and what they bring to the table. That kind of, kept me here. Along with that, uh, good support system, good bosses, all that does help. If you keep switching the career, it's a hit or a miss sometimes. You might be good in a good company, you might switch for a raise, but then that company might not help you grow. Um, as long as there's growth, you should stick onto the company if you like what you're doing, if you're having being able to contribute well meaningfully, um, rather than nothing against Netflix or Amazon Prime, but I'm not a big fan of those kind of companies where people are trying to steal someone's attention. I'm trying to guard my attention a lot, and I'm not a big fan of make it more addictive for people to go and keep scrolling and waste their time. For me, you I should be able to focus. I'm a big fan of deep focus and get work done that's gonna change the world. So some of these things kept me at service, like meaningful work, good support system, and being able to contribute.
No, that makes sense. And I came across a lot of people who left Instagram just not because they were not getting paid well there, but they were not in alignment with the underlying idea of the company, right? To make platform more
Absolutely
engaging.
values. Hmm.
Almost every other month, I regret to keep scrolling these apps, and then I remove it and again get back to them like 2 months later, right? And as realized,
Absolutely, I do that same thing. My wife is a big social media influencer. I don't follow her on Instagram because I don't have Instagram on phone. And she would be like, she was pissed off first, and then she was like, "Okay, I understand why you're doing this. You need to focus
That's a
on
big risk, not
other
following your
things."
own wife.
I do follow, but not like because I don't have an app open now. Sure.
that's a tough.
But she's got 100K plus followers, so she's fine. I'm a tiny speck there. No
No, I
problem.
mean that's a tough job in itself. Honestly, I mean
That's a job.
that's,
We know this because Aditya has a good following on LinkedIn. I have a good following, more than
Oh yeah,
100K on YouTube. So we know that it's a job.
that's a job. Yes.
absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much, Raj. This was very, very helpful. And everyone who's here, if you have any question about Raj's journey to land into Carnegie Mellon, to join ServiceLink, and now he is one of the leading positions there as a director of data science division. Right? I mean, this is a type of career that a lot of you may aspire to have. So if you have any question, feel free to put that in the chat box. We'll cover that in the later part of this session. So feel free to add it there. Okay. Let's move on to a quick introduction of us as well as High Counselor, and then we'll jump into project details. Amit sir, would you like to go next?
Yeah. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Amit, Head of Business Operations at High Counselor. I did my bachelor's in computer science, and after that, I did my MBA program in marketing and human resources. I did my PhD program in marketing research. Me and Aditya were in the same college, so we like working together. I was an alumni of Research Summer School at IMA. Back in India, I worked with companies like Wipro, Reliance, ICICI Bank. I worked as a professor for more than 10 years into different universities, teaching undergraduate and postgraduate students. I have a YouTube channel with my same name, Dr. Amit Lal, with 100K plus subscribers.
Okay. Regarding my background, did my BTech engineering from same college, NIT Jalandhar, in 2012. Came to US in 2015 for my master's degree at Duke. Wanted to do something that's a blend of both engineering and management. So pursued Master of Engineering Management program there. After graduating from Duke, job search was not very easy. So if anyone of you is struggling right now, don't. I mean, it's very common for a lot of people. I remember it took me almost hundreds of applications, not like a few hundreds of applications as well, and then getting 7 interview calls and finally 1 or 2 job offers. So eventually, I landed at PwC, worked there for about a year in Chicago as a tech consultant, moved to Deloitte Consulting, worked there for about 3.5 years. And after working with Deloitte, I decided to leave my job and start High Counselor uh, to help a lot of people who are graduating but they are not employable. So to help them find their dream job. Also, when I was at Deloitte in San Francisco, I was on H-1B visa, and at that time it was a big question for me on how to start a company, right? Because H-1B visa doesn't allow you to do that. Uh, I mean, you can start a company, but then there are a lot of restrictions, like you cannot raise funds and so many other restrictions. And that's where I came to know about O1 visa, which allow you to start a company. So if any one of you who's attending this session right now have this aspire to start a company, or you need any kind of information, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I always love to help or share whatever I've learned through my journey, right, to start a company in the US as an immigrant. Now, why did we started High Counselor? Well, we found that there are three major reasons because of which entry level candidates struggle to find their job. The first one is lack of hands-on work experience, because of which all of we are here today, right? So people study a lot in their universities, but they don't spend a lot of time doing internships or doing real projects. As Raj just mentioned, in his journey, he attempted almost 30 projects or competitions, which clearly make you stand out, right? The second reason that which we found where people really struggle is lack of interview opportunities. People do not know how to network, how to get interview calls. Most of the candidates that I could say, they just know one way of finding a job, that is to go online, find a job position, and apply over there, which is also not bad, but that should not be your only way of finding a job. And third is, even when people land a job, they are not prepared to crack those interview calls. Okay. So to solve this, we launched High Counselor back in 2020. So it's been 4 years now, and our objective was to create a 360-degree ecosystem, a ecosystem that helps you upskill, learn a particular skill, gain you hands-on work experience through internships and projects, connect you with industry experts, people who are working in your dream company, who can help you connect, who help you prepare for interviews, can mentor you, can guide you, who also help you fix your resume and LinkedIn profile. And when you're ready for your job search, we utilize our tools and platforms to help you match better to the jobs, do way more applications for you, and help you get referrals through email networking. Okay. The roles that we support, this is a very common question that we get a lot of applications for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering job roles, but right now, guys, we are only active in 5 job roles. One is software engineering, then data science, excuse me, Salesforce, sales, as well as product management. We work on a success based pricing model. So, when we designed High Counselor, we exactly designed keeping in mind my situation when I came to the US at Duke and I was searching for a job. So, you don't pay anything upfront. If you need to apply to our website, highcounselor.com, once you apply there, if we find your application a fit to our program, fit to our expertise, we admit you. And when we admit you, don't have to make any payment. There is no hidden cost or anything. It's absolutely $0 upfront. Once you land a job, you start working in a company, you get your at least 1 month of paycheck, then you start paying us in monthly installments. We have two different packages. One is a starter package, that is $10,000. Another one is an advanced package, $15,000. Okay. The difference is basically in advanced package, we provide you more one-on-one support. We provide you our own team that apply to jobs for you. We provide you our tools that automatically network on your behalf, provide you remote internship opportunity, as well as layoff support. If you want to learn more about our two different packages, right, what's difference between them, if you want to apply, simply go to our website, which is highcounselor.com, and click over here, apply to upcoming cohort. And the next cohort actually starts on 6th of May. So click on start application, fill out this application. We'll get back to you within 48 hours. If we really like your application, if it is fit to our program, we'll schedule a Zoom interview call with you. And after that Zoom interview call, we'll let you know our decision. If you want to know more about those two different packages, simply click on sign up for our info session. And every Tuesday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, actually, we do an info session where my team member Kinsley, she will be able to answer all of your questions. Feel free to sign up there as well. Okay. That's about High Counselor. And guys, one confusion that we have heard in the past is, so by the way, this project is absolutely free, right? There is no cost for it. So this starter and the advanced package pricing, it's for our career accelerator program where we help you end to end with your job search, right? This is not for this project that we are going to do it here. This project is absolutely free. Okay, let's move on to our project. Raj, would you like to share your screen, give an overview of the project, what we are going to do now and for the next 1 week?
Sure. Let me share my screen.
Mhm.
All right, let me know if you're seeing my screen.
Yes, we're able to see your screen now.
All right, so once you go into High Counselor, register, log in, you should be able to come to this homepage where you see projects. Click on the projects and come and search in the search bar here for the project. The easiest way to do it is Google, and it shows up one project, which is what we'll be talking about today. Predicting Google stock prices for TensorFlow data-driven approach. Then click on Go to Sandbox. Yeah, it's in a different tab. Let me reshare.
I think you need to share it again, Raj.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
Yeah. I had to share it
Yeah.
because the tab changed. Okay.
Yep. Oh,
Come over here, click on New from Template, and you'll see the project, and click on Open Sandbox. I just loaded it, so it's showing up here for me. Click on Open Sandbox, and it should bring up the Jupyter Notebook. And if you are new to data science, Jupyter Notebook is a great way to write code. You can run each cell, and this is called as a cell, where you can write the code and test it right here before moving on to the next piece of code. All right, so this is the project, and you can see there are 10 steps here for this project. High level, what are we trying to do? High level, we are trying to predict the Google stock price. This could be Apple's stock price or anything else, right? So there are so many companies listed in the stock market, and how do we predict the stock prices? Uh, that's what we're trying to do here. And this is one of the basic way of, not the most basic, but I would say one of the entry level projects in um, stock prediction or forecasting. So Um, so what we're trying to do here is we have the data for Google stock, how it performed over a few years, which is currently saved in this location. Um, you should be able to go to the file and basically load the file. So you don't have to upload any files. All those files are already in this environment. You should be able to just write code. So they mentioned here gog.csv, and you'll be able to load that CSV and start looking into using the data. Now coming to a forecasting project, right? So what is this doing? The first level of forecasting is basically you take the data, you're seeing a sequence of numbers. In this case, Google's closing price for every day, and you're trying to predict in future whether the stock price is going to go up or go down. If it's going to go up, buy, hold, and then sell before it's going to go down. And that's how you make money in the stock market. If any of you are doing day trading, you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, also, it's like you're buying stocks when it's low, and then you're selling the stock when it's high before it drops down. Right. So that's what we're trying to predict with this Google stock prices. Uh, do not invest your money based on this project here. Although it's close to doing it, we absolutely take no responsibility if you lose money. Right? So do it at your own risk. Or this is more of an activity for you to learn how to predict stock prices. There are many factors that are involved. In this case, we are just looking at Google's past performance to predict the future performance, which means we are only looking at cyclical patterns here. It's not going to be based on certain releases. There's always a war between Google's Gemini and OpenAI's ChatGPT. And that does affect the stock price too. If there's a report or if there's a result that shows Google's Gemini is performing better than ChatGPT, then Google price is going to go up. Otherwise, it's going to go down. So things like that does have an impact. In this project, we're not looking into those. Those are more advanced projects where you're looking at the news, you're using NLP, you're using reinforcement learning, etc., to predict stock prices. But here, what we are going to predict is more long-term prediction, few days out, and looking at mostly patterns. All right, so that's a brief overview of the project. Let's look at a few steps here. We're not going to solve this project during this call. It's your exercise to go and solve this project, right? So there are 10 steps. The instructions here, very well documented. So go ahead, read the instructions and start writing your code for each of these tasks. Once you've written the code, you can run and test it out. So you can hit run test. It's going to run once you write the code, and you should be able to see how it's performing. All right. Any questions so far? Okay, I'll keep continuing. We'll go over different steps and talk about how do you solve a forecasting project. So first load the data, then you check for missing data. This is very important step. This is also a step for data engineering or cleansing the data. The data you get is not clean. The real world data will always have issues, missing data, incorrect formats. When you're able to download, maybe you're able to download 1 year at a time. You need to combine those files together to get last 5 years, 10 years of data. All those manipulations have to be done next, right? So that's kind of what you're doing here, checking for missing data. Either you fill in with like an average of the data, or if you can go and find the data, get the data maybe from another website and plug it in. Or it could be a holiday. That's why the stock price did not change and there's a missing row, right? So you've got to deal with situations like that and fill it up. Identify any duplicate entries, remove them, check for data types and stocks. Basically, this is looking at the file and looking to see if there's any alphabets while you are expecting only numerical data, which is stock price. Or if there's any change in uh, currency, change in if there was a stock split and suddenly the price goes down by 4 times, and it's like that. So you are looking at those kind of things and plotting, visualizing, and determining if the data is all good and clean. The next step is to prepare this as a time series data. The sequence is very important. Never use shuffle when you're splitting the data set for train and test. You should always use it sequentially. The test is always after your train data set. It has to be sequential. An example could be 2024 price that you have so far, or 2023 and 2024. Your stock prices can be a test set. Everything before that could be a train set. That's one way of looking at it. So it has to be sequential. Do not shuffle. Do not do stratified sampling or anything like that. This is very important in time series. Then basically removing columns that you don't need. Most likely we are looking at one column, which is the closing stock price every day. Visualizations like we discussed earlier. Then you got to normalize it. For machine learning, deep learning, the algorithms work best when the value is between -1 to 1. So you got to normalize it. If the value of the stock goes from $1,000 to $2,000, now you got to normalize that and make $1,000 equivalent to -1 and $2,000 equivalent to 1, and all the numbers are mapped in between. This is to make the best use of optimization and modeling. If you think the stock price could go further beyond 2000, you accommodate accordingly and do it. Um, Something like a min-max scaler would be a good option here. And also you could pick your max based on your understanding of the stock and the industry in general. Right. Then this is the last step where it's a big one, where you implement the whole TensorFlow implementation using algorithm called LSTMs. LSTM is a type of recurrent neural network, which stands for long short-term memory. Um, and what this does is it works very well where there is a sequence. Understanding the past data, it pays attention to various things in the past and be able to make the prediction for the future. There are several advantages to its predecessors, like there's no vanishing gradient problem with LSTMs. Of course, today, what is cutting edge or state of the art is the transformer models, which came much later after LSTMs and much later after LSTMs, and they perform much better, but they're also very power hungry. They require much larger GPUs, and you can look at a lot more data as well. But here, let's restrict our scope to building this LSTM model using TensorFlow. TensorFlow is a framework for deep learning. It's one of the first ones that came out and the most popular one. It started, I think it's maintained by Google and they support the TensorFlow platform. Uh, it can be used to deploy in various places. You can use CPU to process, you can use GPU, which is a big lift. You can also use TensorFlow Lite to deploy these models into a mobile device. So TensorFlow has a lot of support. Another one that I would pay attention to is PyTorch because of ease of use. TensorFlow requires you to write the code. It's a static code. You got to write the code, which is not like Python usually. Python is dynamic. You can write, you can print, you can see. But for TensorFlow, you got to write all the code, which builds the whole model framework, and compile it, and then start training it. PyTorch is more like Python, where you could start experimenting, writing code. You can see the intermediate steps, etc. So there are some differences there. To begin with, TensorFlow is good. So start learning how to use this TensorFlow and implement and run the model and test it out. Test out your results.
It's great, Raj. Thanks for the introduction of the project. Guys, any question that you may have related to project execution or anything, please let us know in the chat box. One more thing. Da-da-da. 1 second. Okay. Give me 1 second. Da-da-da. Can can you talk about like our Discord channel? Like for any Q&A. Share my screen. Okay, so guys, one quick thing. So as we said that from now on until the end of this next week, by the way, whoever who perform well in this project will be featured on Times Square as we did in the previous projects. And here you can see some of our previous winners. 1 second. Uh, 1 second. Okay. So all the winners will be featured on the Times Square, New York. But the objective is that you really learn in this next 1 week from this particular project. You get that hands-on work experience, and I'm sure a lot of you will have questions during the project. You may get stuck at somewhere. So here is what we have. You can ask any question related to this project on our Discord channel. I'll share this Discord channel link with you. When you click on the say in this Discord channel, you'll see that we have a community of over 3,200 members, and as you can see, 89 people are already online there. So it's a great place to be there related to any of the real world projects that you do. It's a great place to hang out with people who are already searching for a data science related job roles. or who are working on similar projects, right? And a lot of industry professionals also, they come there, share their knowledge here and there. Raj, if you haven't joined the community, I think you are already there, but we'll share details with you as well.
Yes.
If you can spend some time, say once in a week or something, that would be great as well. But guys, do make sure to join this Discord community. Also, on our projects platform, if you want to do more than two projects, we have about 159 projects right now. So when you go to highcounselor.com, you go to projects, and here you'll see that we have about 160 projects. And by the way, guys, we have recently added projects on generative AI, large language models. We'll tag them separately over here very soon. But you'll be able to see projects where you can get hands-on experience on generative AI as well. If you want to do more projects, then you simply then you need to subscribe for our premium plan, which is about $50 a month. We have a promo code right now, which is called Raj20. If you use this promo code, you'll get 20% discount. Okay. And we'll also get to know that, okay, you come from this particular event. Okay. But most important is the Discord channel link, which I'll paste in the chat box for everyone. And guys, if you have any questions, please let us know. Okay. So here you go. Here's the Discord channel link for everyone.
Okay, so Thamin is asking, is the recording is available? Yes, Thamin, this is recording. You can see the recording on YouTube. So you go to the live section on the channel aditya.highcounselor. You will be able to see this video live. And the recording will also be there
Yeah, and the recording will also be available on LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn as well. Yes. Okay. So guys, any other questions if you have? Raj is with us about his journey, job search. We'll be happy to answer all those, including the project one. Okay. Either do you see any questions further? I don't see it. Is my not refreshing or? So Raj, my one question from my side to you is, since we meet a lot of candidates, uh, even after graduating from good universities, right now the lead time for landing into a job is really high. So what can be 2-3 tips which you can give to those people, uh, apart from applying on LinkedIn or doing email networking? That's what most of the people are doing. uh, what can be those pro tips which you can suggest to those people?
I think after COVID, the world has opened up. There are a lot of meetups. If you're in a big city, go to meetups, meet people, network with them. Don't always go with an ask. Go with the not intention to network and know people and meet and make build friendships. That's one good way to find opportunities in the companies. Sometimes you would even know opportunities that are not even posted on LinkedIn or outside yet. There might be something that's coming up, and if you can close in there, then the competition is also less. Um, Go to competitions, hackathons, company sponsored events. There are certain challenges that certain companies might even post, so go solve those problems. uh, you have time, give up your time or effort towards a cause. See if there are startups or non-profits who are looking to solve some problems for them. Go with an intention to help them. That way, you get access to a real world problem. At the same time, they might give you an offer, maybe a job at the end of the project too, right? So focus on those things. I think those are very, very crucial. Apart from that, don't lose confidence, don't lose hope. Very much required for you to apply for hundreds of jobs in this market. The market has slowed down. So definitely there are a lot more candidates applying for jobs. So don't lose hope there. You can, only if you are enthusiastic, you're confident, you can land a job. So after 2 or 3 interviews that you didn't land a job, don't lose your confidence, because then the lower confidence will prevent you from being hired in the future jobs or interviews that you're doing. So work on yourself, stay fit, both mentally and physically, right? All those things have to be taken care. Just don't keep applying for jobs and giving interviews 24/7.
Absolutely. Uh, okay, so I think we have reached top of the hour. Thank you so much, Raj, for joining us. And let me tell you, today we had almost 100% retention by the end of this session. Exactly the same number of people. They stayed until the end. No, absolutely. Learned a lot from your journey, and we will keep this project open for the next 1 week. If there are any question, guys, feel free to add it in the Discord channel. I just added link over there. We do great discussions in this Discord channel, and yeah, would love to hear your feedback. If you have any other questions or some uh, anything that you want to discuss related to your job search, right? Feel free to put it there. And most often, right, before we jump to answer those questions, a lot of experts come in and they share their views. Other job seekers, they share their opinion. So that's very, very helpful for everyone. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Raj. Thanks, Amit sir, for joining. Thanks everyone for taking your time
Thank,
Saturday. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. See you.
thank you.
Bye.
Okay, have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Safe flight to India.